Here we go. There we go. Hello, you guys, and welcome to Dog Hugs. As you can see, we have a special guest today, David Frei, the legendary dog show TV host. And you can see something about us is really different today. What's not different is spiders barking. But hello, Robbie. Hello, Geraldine. You're looking rather fancy today.
We are, aren't we? Yeah. We dressed up. We cleaned up well today.
Why are we dressed up today?
Robbie?
Well, you know, I had to give a nod to cats. So I dress up in my cat tiara. Yeah. Even though I have dogs and cats, I don't have any dog tiaras. I'm not really sure what's wrong with me, but I've got to get one.
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked I don't have a dog tiara by this time, Robbie and Larry.
You, the product developer, Geraldine, will probably invent one. You'll be the person to invent one.
I could stick a poodle on my head.
That's hilarious. What a great day, right? So happy Memorial Day.
Go for it.
We are dressed up today because, as you guys know, we have the Supermodel of the Week contest, and we're announcing it today. But not just we are announcing it today, but we have a very special person announcing it today with us, and that is going to be David Frei. And Joe will introduce him in a moment. So we thought it would be fun. You know, how often do we get to dress up these days, you guys?
Never.
Not very.
Especially for a cat tiara. Let's just be honest, right?
Right.
This is going to be part of my everyday wear now.
I wear my cat ears every day at work, Robbie. So and you can understand why. It's like my thinking cat.
I wear Wednesday for my conversations from the cat box.
That's
nice.
Wow, you're planning early. All right, I'm
nice.
busy in his busy box. If you've seen the show before, you've seen where Spider takes these treats that are hidden in these towels. It's a great way to keep your dog occupied. So let's move from the laundry lounge over into the studio.
It's so funny that we're all dressed up and we're talking about the laundry lounge. I love this. It's great.
Harder and harder for them to get it. So now I'm putting this block on top of it.
Nah.
He's going to have this done even before David comes onto the channel.
Probably. Yeah. He's so smart.
The laundry lounge.
He is a smart dog.
We've got Maru saying ACD. What's ACD?
I don't know.
All cats dominate.
Oh, I like that one.
Like
that one.
Thank you very much. Or you can
say that's what it really is.
Now, this is my neighbor Nora. Larry, you're wearing a tur, so I'm either guessing that's a tiara or a tie.
A tie.
Yeah. Nora's never seen me in a tie because when I'm walking Spider in the neighborhood, you know, I've got on what I've got on, and these days it's a mask and a hat and gloves, and sometimes I've got my blue hoodie on, you know, and I look like this ninja Smurf.
Hilarious.
That we need to see a picture of. Hi, Abby Chesnut.
Oh.
I know Abby. I don't know if you guys know Abby. She's got therapy rats.
Oh yeah, we know Abby.
Interesting, yeah.
Therapy rat. Really?
I love rats. I had two rats growing up, and I'll tell you about this later. We rescued them, and they were wonderful. And I have to say that rats are great pets. And I know you think I'm crazy, but let's talk about that later. Thank you, Abby. Thanks for loving therapy rats.
We've got to have Abby on the show and show us some therapy rats.
Definitely.
Show. Great. Yeah. Well, hello, Carrie from South Carolina. How are you guys doing over there? Great. Well, hello, you guys.
Oh, new puppy life.
Yeah. And look at this. Deep into new puppy life. Well,
that's interesting.
Transition. to our guest, because our guest has a surprise to show us.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll get to him in a moment. But first, Carrie is going a German Australian Shepherd. Got it. Mix.
Oh,
So
wow.
wow, great
Yeah.
mix.
All right. So, Geraldine, tell us. Oh, look at this. And Deanna, we know Deanna. Hi.
Forever.
How do you say your town's name is? Pull y'all up? Yeah. All right. So each week we do the supermodel.
Deanna and I'm sorry, Deanna and Kona.
Yeah, and Kona. Each day we do this. Each week we do the Supermodel of the Week contest, and we've been doing that for more than 5 years. And
Yep.
Robbie and your daughter Alexa, you tally it up each week and post these graphics, and it's a big contest. And all you guys have to do is just vote on them, which means simply, you like, you share, and whoever gets the most likes and shares, that's our new Supermodel of the Week. So we have some exciting stuff to announce this week's Supermodel of the Week. Oh my gosh, look who's coming in. A Catahoula leopard dog and a Chihuahua. And I'm going to get the Chihuahua's the boss, right? Yeah. Love to you too, Rook. Oh, a crow. Got it. Rook Rising. I'm getting it now. Yeah.
Ooh, that's neat.
Yeah. All right. So, Geraldine, take us into our guest. Announce our guest.
So just like when we had Steve Dale on, we've had him on twice now.
Right.
It's hard to find enough words or the right words to describe our guest today. It's almost impossible. So I'll try to do my best.
Okay.
We call him the inventor of dog. He brought dogs into our living rooms. Mm-hmm. And it was not just him, it was many others, but he was the face and the voice and the heart behind it that kept it going for so many years, and the spark. So after 20 years with Westminster, and after 17 years with NBC's with the National Dog Show, and now the Beverly Hills Dog Show for the last few years, I'd like to introduce David Frei.
Yay. David,
so bring him in.
There.
Oh,
We're down the road from Deanna in Puyallup, of course. We're down here on the Oregon coast in Cannon Beach.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that terrible pronunciation.
You're close.
David, who is in your arms?
You guys have the honor of hosting the media debut of True Dat.
True Dat.
Our Cavalier that is 3 days with us now. We picked her up on Friday. She is 3 days into leash training.
Wow.
And has picked up on housebreaking very quickly as well. And Grace loves her. So that's my friend Grace. And we just lost our Cavalier Angel 3 months ago. So True Dat here is going to carry on for Angel. But her name comes from her registered name, which is Torlandi Courtlore. The secret's out. So her call name is True Dat, of course.
So we're gonna.
The street yesterday in Cannon Beach said, "Wait, that was my high school nickname." I said, "Well, now you got. I don't know if this town's big enough for two of you, but here we are." Thank you for the nice introduction, Geraldine.
David.
Yes, and thank you for joining us, and happy Memorial Day, and thank you for your service. And take it away, Larry, because we all have so many questions, but we're going to limit it to just a few.
Yeah. David, tell us about the breed, the King Charles Cavalier Spaniel.
The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Thank you for correcting me on that too.
Close enough. Is a toy dog. You can tell from her size that they are a love sponge, a love bucket, whatever you want to call them. But they are here for us, as most toy dogs are, to be a companion. They're a spaniel. They have spaniel behind them, so they were really kind of a small bird dog for many years. And they sized them down so they could be a toy dog with their wonderful personality, great round eyes, dark eyes, and beautiful attitude. She's Angel, our previous Cavalier, was a great therapy dog, and we anticipate that Trudat will be carrying on for her. So
I could so imagine that. Yes. Yeah. I know how important therapy dog, that world is to you. Yeah.
We were very involved with my charity called Angel on a Leash,
Yes.
which was named by from the fact that we had our angels at work. And Angel, my Cavalier, was named after the charity, and she was from an angel-themed litter of 3 dogs. That was her, Angel Eyes, her sister. Her brother first. Let's start with her brother, Johnny Angel. And their sister, I'm No Angel. Great angel themed litter, and they're all still around. So
I love that.
You have to carry on here, Trudat.
So, David, you've hosted and really evolved the TV dog show. What's it like to host a TV dog show for the whole?
Well, back in 1990, Chet Collier, who was the president and show chair for Westminster, I met him when I was involved showing an Afghan hound to be the #1 Afghan hound in the country, who retired actually as the top winning female in the history of the breed. Storm Hill 2 Zoomin' Who was her name after the Aretha Franklin song. And I met him at a dog show, and he found out that I used to work for a couple of football teams, the Denver Broncos and the 49ers. So as a PR person, so he thought maybe I had some PR savvy and wanted me to do their dog show on television. Back in those days, it was on the Madison Square Garden network mainly. Also, sort of as an afterthought, was on USA Network everywhere in the country but the tri-state New York area. And I said, sure, let's do an audition tape and see if it fits. And we did an audition, and he liked it, and I liked it, and the MSG people liked it. It was primarily a sports network at that point, so they were excited to have somebody who understood sports to be part of their show. And I said, they asked me if I'd do the show, and I said, sure, I'll do it. It'll be fun for a few years. Well, 27 years later, 30 years later now, here I am. But 27 years of Westminster, 18 years overlapping with the National Dog Show. And we just did our 4th year of the Beverly Hills Dog Show. So I've probably seen, I don't know, 1 million dogs in my time on television, and hopefully taught people about dogs and dog shows and everything, but mostly helped guide a celebration of the dog in our lives through our dog shows. So I think that's what it's all about.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
it from being just a dog show and not just the greatest dog show in the world with Westminster, but moving it to become a celebration of our dogs for everybody.
Yeah. I love how the genesis of it for you and for the world, the country, was also through the world of sports. And you have quite a connection to the world of sports. I did not know about your NFL credentials, but I do know that you grew up in Eugene, Oregon, and there's some sports connection there.
That's right. Go Ducks, as we say. But my dad was the football coach at the University of Oregon for 17 years. So I tell everybody, kind of like John Belushi in Animal House, I went to college at the University of Oregon for 17 years. I grew up in the equipment room picking up dirty towels and cleaning shoes and things. I thought my career was paved with AstroTurf. I was going to become a football coach or a baseball coach or something. And now I find out it was paved with wee-wee pads. I never had a dog. We never had a dog in our family growing up. And so I got my first dog in college when I moved.
You were busy.
I moved into my
You're
own
busy.
house. Well, I blame it all on a woman, Geraldine. But
blame it on me.
I moved into my first house in college, and my girlfriend said, let's get a dog. Well, I'm 20 years old. You know, what guy doesn't do whatever the woman tells him to do at that point? Still is that way, of course. But I said, okay, let's get a dog. And she says, okay. I said, what kind? She said, how about an Afghan hound? I said, oh, what the hell is that? And we got the dog. We got an Afghan hound. And 3 weeks later, the girl left and the dog stayed. And it was the best thing that could have happened to all three of us. And that led me to be better at people. I fell into showing and got involved with dogs that led me to Zumi and a lot of other great show dogs. And and as Elaine would say on Seinfeld, yada, yada, here I am today. So, it's been a great life. I owe so much to my involvement with dogs, going from dog shows to therapy dogs to having a wonderful circle of friends like Geraldine and a lot of other people that are key parts of my life. So happy about that.
Amen to that.
Amen. And we're so grateful for what you have done to really invent the dog in people's homes, because everyone wants to have their dog be like a show dog. When you think about it, that's why we watch those shows. We go and turn around and go, I want my dog to be like that. So it's really great. It's a great inspiration.
I said right from the very beginning that I wanted to show people in the world that our dogs are just like your dogs at home. They're real dogs. They steal food off our counters and sleep on our couches and bed on our black clothes. They might even drink out of a toilet once in a while. So, they are real dogs, and we're real people involved in this great family sport. And from there, we were able to go and talk about things like therapy dog work and all the other things that we get to do that are great fun and productive with our dogs. And I think that was a positive thing for dogs and hopefully in the dog show world as well. So we went with Westminster. There are 3 other dog shows on television now. The AKC National Special National Championships in December, the National Dog Show in November from Philadelphia, and now the Beverly Hills Dog Show from Beverly Hills. So we think we've spread it out and got a lot more people watching. We have 25 million people watch that show on Thanksgiving Day. Nobody. Wow. It's amazing.
And I think it's only going to increase now just because of the fact that this COVID has happened. Because if the seasons change, for instance, if they change our seasons to, you can only really be active for outdoor activities from this month to that month, then having these dog shows broadcast on television helps the whole world see them even more so, and there'll be even more interest in those. And I'm so excited for that, because there are many dog shows I don't get to see because they're not broadcast. Well, now they're going to be broadcasting, I think, more dog shows.
Well, I think so. And first we have to solve the issue of social distancing. It's hard to judge a dog in acknowledging the social distancing aspect of it, because a judge has to come up to you, put their hands on your dog and interact with you. So we're still trying to figure out how to do all that thing. The best thing is for us all to be healthy and safe and going about any activity, whether it's dog shows or baseball games or whatever, in a way that keeps everybody safe. And I think that's our primary concern. But eventually we want to get back to this great activity. We've got a lot of people who are very involved in dog shows, making their living from dog shows, professional handlers. A lot of judges make their living judging dog shows. So we want to watch out for them. We want to help them get back into it. But in the meantime, we're going to watch out for them. We have an organization called Take the Lead, which was created to take care of people with life-threatening and financially devastating illnesses. They are now expanded. They have now expanded themselves. My friend Tom Bradley and Dottie Collier, who founded that organization, have expanded that to take care of the handlers that are suddenly out there with no income and many of them no health care, and Take the Lead, and those people are taking care of them. So their family.
Wow, what a great organization.
Thank you.
That's a real hug. That's a real hug.
Yeah, that is.
It really is. I was on their board for a while, and so I know the people, and their hearts are all in the right place to help take care of them. So, God bless.
David, how have dog shows evolved up to before COVID? I mean, they were started in the 1800s?
Probably earlier than that. I mean, we talk about Schipperkes of all breeds they were the barge dogs in Belgium that were on the barges that went back and forth between Antwerp and Brussels, and they were ratters and helped alert the people on board what was going on. But the barge workers said, "Hey, my dog's better than yours. Let's compare them. Let's have a little dog show." I'm sure they didn't call it a dog show at the time, but they were comparing dogs, and I think that was sort of the beginning, and it kind of then moved along to say whose dog is the best bird dog. We didn't even have breeds necessarily at that point. We could tell that there were some dogs that were different, but who's the best bird dog? Who's the best at pulling a sledge with all this weight on it? And it got to the point, for example, and there were other shows that were underway at that point, but with Westminster was a hunting club, was a gentleman's shooting club. and they would hunt birds, and they all had their bird dogs. And after they went bird hunting, they'd go gather at their favorite bar in downtown Manhattan, and brag about their dogs, compare stories. Yeah, my dog's better than yours. I said, well, let's make it into a dog show. Well, we'll see whose dog is really best. And they said, okay, what are we going to call our club? Well, they were drinking in the old Westminster Hotel in Manhattan. So they called it decided to call it the Westminster, eventually became the Westminster Kennel Club, but it was the Westminster Dog Association or something at that point. And that's what it's all about, is my dog compares to yours. But somewhere along the line, we wrote standards that said how the dog should look and how it should be built. And that's what we judge them on. We don't really judge them on how many birds they bring back.
And that has evolved considerably. I would imagine that the very first Westminster Kennel Club, there were so many breeds. It sounds like they were mostly hunters. And now there are how many breeds in the dog show?
Well, for the National Dog Show in November, we're looking at 208 breeds and varieties. So every year the AKC seems to add a couple of them, and we call them new breeds, but they're not really new. They've been around for years. They're just finally newly recognized in this country by the AKC. So that gets us to 208. There you go.
So see where I'm pointing? I'm pointing to that book right there called Dogs. See that book right there? Actually, hold on. I showed this to Larry the other day. I've had this since I was 13 years old, and it's called Dogs. And it has over 400 breeds. And I still have my three that I want to own next. Earmark, dog-eared. There's over 400 breeds in this book, and yeah, so there's a lot.
That's what it's all about. I think worldwide, if you were to wander around the world, you would find 400 breeds, but you're not going to find all 400 of them in this country. The AKC wants there to be a certain population. They have to have a geographic distribution, and they need a parent club like the Brittany Club of America that's watching out for them, their well-being, and watching over the standard and how they're judged and things like that. So right now we're 208. There's probably a few, as we like to call it, in the bullpen, getting ready to come in from the miscellaneous class once all those things are satisfied. And that's what the dog show is all about, and dog breeds.
Well, using that sports metaphor, being in the bullpen, is there now a betting line on who's going to make it next to the majors?
I think once they're in the miscellaneous class, it becomes probably more dependent on the people that are involved with them and promoting them, quite frankly, and making sure that they're playing by all the rules. And if you look and think, I know this person that's involved with this breed, and they're going to make this breed happen. Sometimes there's a battle. Jack Russell Terriers. For years, they didn't care. They didn't want to be part of the AKC because they thought that was going to disrupt the well-being of the dogs. And of course, that's nothing could be further from the truth. But so they stalled it for a while. Sometimes there's two competing parent clubs. There was in Cavaliers that were arguing and fighting over who's going to be in charge. And that adds years to it as well. So we'll see what happens, but I'm sure eventually we'll have fun with all of them. But, I want them to come, and I want them to keep coming to dog shows. Every once in a while, we recognize a breed that suddenly, once they're recognized, they disappear. And God love them. I love the Chinooks, but I haven't seen one in 5 years. I don't know what to do.
It's true.
Are you privy, David, to the conversations that are going about to how are we going to do these dog shows going forward?
Well, I think we all are, and I'm very involved with 3 clubs in the East. The Westchester Kennel Club. We're having a phone meeting next week to talk about our next show in September.
Good.
I'm involved with Morrison Essex as a founding member of the Morrison Essex Club, which only has a show every 5 years, a spectacular show with close to 4,000 dogs, I think, last time. And then, of course, the National Dog Show on NBC in November. And that's, with the television audience that we have, the impact that we have, 25 million spectators or viewers, I think makes it pretty important that we are telling the right stories everywhere we go. And then after that comes the national championships for AKC, and of course Westminster in February. And we're all waiting to see what happens at Westminster, because they are, of course, the leader in terms of people's impressions of what goes on in the dog show world.
Yes. Well, let's get into announcing our finalists for this week's dog show.
All right, let's do that.
The Supermodel. Hey, Spider. Good boy.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, the Supermodel of the Week finalists. I'm going to mute myself and let mute Spider and let David guide us through our finalists.
I have 5 finalists here. I think because it's not in a list form, but Corey had 1,000 reactions, likes, shares, and comments in 5th place. Corey, hi Corey.
Robbie, can you
guide us
through who is who?
Well, that's Corey. Corey is a he's like a shepherd, right? Or
he's a cattle dog of some kind.
Cattle dog of some kind. There he is. Hi, Corey. He looks like some sort of a herding dog and a working dog, if you will. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There are no bad breeds, only bad owners.
Truth. True that. True that.
That. There you go. Okay, baby. Where's baby? Baby Adam. Baby's got some terrier with those ears, I'm guessing, but she had 1,027 votes. Then we got Sophia. Where's Sophia? There's Sophia. Again, got some kind of ears going on, but it looks like it's got some Aussie or some coloring.
Cattle dog.
Come from a cattle dog. Could come from some kind of hound dog of some kind too. So, and look at those eyes. That's probably Australian Shepherd eyes.
Yeah.
And which one was that? Was Sophia was 3rd. 2nd was Megan, who had 1,587 votes.
Wow.
Where's Megan? Megan has that beautiful shepherd working dog mix to her as well. Look at those blue eyes.
Yeah.
And then our winners, we have a co-supermodel of the week, Badger.
Here we go.
2,000 votes. That doesn't seem quite fair, 2 against. But they look like they have some sort of bull terrier, pit bull terrier mix in them, and lovable, happy dogs. Look at all those votes. Over 2,000 votes.
Oh, precious.
Beautiful. Nice lineup. We just had a bunch of supermodels at the Beverly Hills Dog Show as well with Bo Derek and Olivia Popo and you name it. But they all knew that the dogs were the stars, and I think they would acknowledge that here as well.
Was that husky not amazing? Like his demeanor, he had a je ne sais quoi, I guess I'll say, about him that was so relaxing, and so when you watched him, it was such a peaceful way he entered and worked around the ring. It was very impressive.
Old dog show judge once told me, he says it doesn't matter what a nice specimen it is, it's a dog show and you got to show. So
you got to show,
especially when you get down to the final lineup, you got 7 dogs that you hope are all great specimens of their breeds and coming forward from the groups. But if they don't show like they're loving it and like they own the ground they stand over, they're not going to win. And this year, after Mrs. Collier had gone over the 7 finalists, I turned to Wayne Ferguson, who does our PA, and I said, Wayne, it's got to be the Siberian Husky. And he says, I agree. And, there were there was a nice lineup. Geez, the great Bono was in there, the Havanese, the beautiful Shetland sheepdog, Conrad was in there, a nice Sharpei. A nice Sharpei was in there, and of course, a beautiful Springer Spaniel. I'm leaving somebody out. I don't want to be in trouble, but again,
the Shetland sheepdog, or the
sheepdog Conrad is the dog that I thought actually should have won Westminster. If I were judging at Westminster, I would have put the sheepdog up, or the Shetland sheepdog up. So anyway, great dogs all, and it doesn't matter. The real best in show dog is the one that's sitting on the couch next to you at home anyway. So reach over and hug your dogs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's give a dog hug right now to all the dogs out there. A big dog hug to every dog out there on the couch with their parents watching.
She's not on the couch. She's eating my toe right now.
Mine is probably eating my shoe in the other room. Just kidding.
David,
she's in the other room though. Go ahead.
A lot of this show is about rescue and animal welfare and therapy dogs and that sort of thing. And you've been so active in those kinds of causes. I know you could probably name a million different organizations that you would love to give a shout out to. Does one come to your mind right now?
Absolutely, today. And I just put something on my Facebook about it. It's Veterans Day, or it's Memorial Day. And I think of all the visits we visited every week at the VA hospital in New York City. Grace and I, Angel filled in for Grace every once in a while, but most of the time it was Grace and me. And we're visiting with guys who are heroes, and God bless them. A lot of them would be living on the street if they weren't living in the hospital, but we visited them bedside. We worked with them in physical and occupational therapy, where Grace would help them learn how to use a new prosthetic limb, how to take a step that they haven't taken before. God bless all those guys. My dad was a veteran, so I'm very proud of the veteran stuff and the Memorial Day in my home. So God bless them all. God, thank you guys for your service. Thanks for everything you did for us.
Beautiful. Well, we've got some great comments coming in here. Let's share these. First, Deanna is correcting me on my pronunciation, as you did, David.
Puyallup.
Puyallup? Okay.
It's Puyallup. That's where all the dog shows are, down at the Puyallup Fairgrounds, the Western Washington Fairgrounds in Puyallup. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time down there.
Great. And well, let's see. Yes, you. Oh, it is the cat. Who's the boss? The Chihuahua or the Catahoula? Chihuahua. Right.
It's usually the little dog. Yes.
Here's my dad coming in with some typing practice. Very good. Thanks, Dad. I know you're trying to say something there.
You can type a little faster.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. K.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Hey, how are you?
Yesterday, my girlfriend Jen and I had dinner physically in my parents' backyard.
Oh, wow.
Really, my mom's birthday on Wednesday, and she's going to be. Sparty, you're supposed to bark now when I say her age. Yeah.
I sure hope you get your dog over its shyness, Spider.
Yeah, that's right.
Fire up, Spider.
Get up.
Get him with a good trainer. Hey, I know a trainer you can have.
Right.
Right here in the lower right corner. Put her to work.
Exactly. We're working on it.
Oh,
it's our next
now
step.
We got it. Now, my dad's saying we and my mom, we love the formal attire plus Robbie's tiara. Robbie is also chiming in. It must be about your tiara, Robbie.
I have to think it is. Or the puppy. I'm thinking the puppy. One of the two of us.
Yolanda from Mexico City, who was a big part of the conference that I got to keynote at just before we went into quarantine. Hi again, Yolanda. Great. And Rook Rising. Hi, sweetie heart. How beautiful. Again, your tiara, Robbie. Yeah.
I don't think that was meant for you or me, Larry.
Yeah. Yolanda wants me to wear a tiara, right?
Yeah. We'll come back to your tiara episode.
I like the comment from Joanne.
My episode from Sex and the City was just on the air yesterday. Where I played a dog show judge, judging Kristen Davis and his Cavalier in the ring. And, and the storyline is basically that I never looked at her dog. I only looked at her, and she gave me a big wink and got the blue ribbon. So, and I got my residual check for $1.85. So
nice.
And my neighbor Nora is reminding us about healthcare and dogs. And David, again, the contribution that you've made with therapy work and work with veterans.
Well, I think the raising some awareness about responsible dog ownership is a big start there. But responsible dog ownership does, of course, include taking care of your dog's health and safety and everything else. So
Absolutely.
You've got a big fan here, David.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
Nice. Thank you, Sissy. Well, John and I are together for, of course, the National Dog Show for 18 years with a lot of overlap with Westminster, and 4 years now on Beverly Hills. So we're going to carry on for as long as they'll let us.
Yeah. So Yolanda from Mexico City, David, your girl is so cute. Very good.
Thank you. We think so too. She's got a lot of growing up to do. She's not even 5 months old yet, but we're sure we're going to have fun with her.
Nice. Oh, so much fun with her.
Thank you for coming on the show with us today. We're enjoying having you. Great to have you as a new fan here. And fabulous.
Nice.
Yeah, did I sape you all up good enough for you, Deanna? I hope so.
That's great. Well, as we get to wrap up here, first I want to tell you about tomorrow's show. That's right, Spider. Spider will be on the show too, of course. And we're going to have with us some amazing trainers. Teresa McKeon from North Carolina. She's truly one of the best trainers and behaviorists in the world, together with from Sweden, who's been on the show before, Eva Bertilsson. And Eva got caught in the USA and ended up at, she's going to talk about.
I remember.
At Ian's Ranch for the last month. So, home to Sweden. So we're going to have her and Teresa McKeon on the show tomorrow.
That's great.
Yeah. My gratitude today really goes out to, as David, as you said, really our veterans and everyone who has given up his or her life in service to our country, and the blessing is to keep their memories alive.
Good, Larry. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Robbie,
I just want to add on to what you said to the canines also who have served and may not have made it back.
Yes.
So,
and I'll dive, and I think that's such a great point, Robbie. I'd like to dive in and say I have a lot of gratitude for the families that supported the veterans through their military career, especially the Gold Star moms who have lost family members, lost their children. That's one of the hardest, but most, it's a great thing to be proud of, but it's so hard to lose your child, but still knowing the great service they did, that it's a dichotomy they live in every day. So God bless them. And God bless them for allowing their children to serve, because, you know, they could have talked them out of it. So I'm just so happy that they're here supporting their family members with them or not. And we're here to support them.
Hey, Geraldine, you mentioned the great things that you do for veterans with PTSD and their dog training programs and service dogs and the like. So God bless you for that, too. And thanks for your service of taking care of these guys.
Yes. Well,
thank you. It is not always easy, and I just dig in. So thank you.
Thank you.
I think I'm grateful for the dogs that are willing to be a service dog, because it is work, and it is hard work. It is really hard work, and they have to shake it off. But dogs are the reason why dogs are so great for that is they live in the now. They don't live in yesterday or tomorrow. They live in right now. So when they go from room to visit each veteran, they're able to absorb their energy, but shake it off in between visits and be able to start back over with that same vim and that vigor, that excitement. And most people don't have that. So there's so much for us to learn from animals, especially dogs. So
well said.
Beautiful.
I talk about it all the time, and God bless all the great dog trainers out there. But I say that we probably should worry a little less about what we teach our dogs and more about what we learn from them. So that's what it's all about.
Yes. Love it. Yes.
Perfect.
Did it.
Well said.
Thank you so much, David Frei, and it's great being with you, Robbie and Geraldine. And thanks to all of you, wherever you are watching and participating with us on Dog Hugs. And we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Big hug. Big hug.
There we go.
Thank you, everybody.